Commander Zix-9 of the Galactic Survey Fleet clicked his mandibles in what his species considered polite amusement as he reviewed the preliminary data from the third planet of the Sol system. The holographic display showed vast blue expanses covering roughly 70% of the planetary surface. "Look at this, Navigator Kresh," Zix-9 gestured with one of his forearms toward the projection. "The inhabitants of this backwater world actually call these puddles oceans." Kresh, whose chitinous exterior gleamed under the ship's bioluminescent lighting, emitted a series of harmonious clicks that translated to laughter. "Indeed, Commander. On Kepler 442b, our smallest recreational pools are deeper than their so-called Pacific Ocean. How quaint that they've managed to develop any aquatic capabilities at all in such shallow water." The crew had encountered hundreds of water-bearing worlds throughout the galaxy, but none quite like this. Most civilized aquatic species evolved in planetary oceans that stretched to depths of 50 kilometers or more, with crushing pressures that would pulverize lesser beings. Earth's oceans, barely 11 kilometers at their deepest point, seemed like mere surface moisture to beings who had mastered the abyssal depths of truly oceanic worlds. "Sir," interrupted Communications Officer Trilix from her station, "we're receiving a transmission from the surface. The humans are requesting permission to demonstrate their aquatic capabilities." Zix-9's compound eyes shifted toward the communication array. "How presumptuous. Very well. Let them show us how they navigate their little water features. Perhaps we'll be entertained." The demonstration was to take place in what humans called the Pacific Ocean, though the aliens had already calculated that their own larvae could traverse its entire width in less than a standard rotation cycle. They positioned their observation vessel at a discrete altitude, cloaking technology engaged, ready to witness what they assumed would be a brief and unremarkable display. The human subject was introduced as Dr. Elena Rodriguez, a marine biologist and endurance swimmer. She appeared unremarkable by galactic standards. No gills, no natural buoyancy chambers, no pressure-resistant exoskeleton. Just pale skin, primitive lungs, and what seemed to be an absurdly inefficient bipedal design poorly adapted for aquatic environments. "This should be over quickly," Navigator Kresh observed as Dr. Rodriguez entered the water wearing nothing but a simple covering and basic navigation equipment. What happened next defied every assumption the aliens had made about Earth's aquatic limitations. Dr. Rodriguez began to swim, and swim, and swim. Hour after hour, she maintained a steady rhythm through the water, her movements precise and economical. The aliens initially assumed she would tire within the first few cycles, but she continued through what humans called night, swimming in complete darkness by navigation lights alone. "Commander," Trilx reported after 12 hours had passed, "the human shows no signs of stopping. Her bioreadings indicate elevated but stable metabolic function." Zix-9 studied the data with growing fascination. No Krillian could maintain aquatic locomotion for more than a few hours without mechanical assistance, despite their superior respiratory systems. Yet this fragile-looking human continued her journey across the ocean's surface with machine-like persistence. By the second day, the entire crew had abandoned their other duties to observe the human's progress. Dr. Rodriguez had covered nearly 200 kilometers, fighting against currents, weather changes, and the psychological challenge of endless blue horizon. When fatigue finally seemed to affect her stroke rate, she would roll onto her back and continue in a different position, somehow maintaining forward momentum while appearing to rest. "How is this possible?" Kresh muttered, his earlier amusement replaced by genuine bewilderment. "Her species lacks any obvious adaptations for extended aquatic activity. No specialized organs, no enhanced oxygen processing capability." The ship's xenobiologist, Dr. Vorth, had been analyzing the human's performance with increasing excitement. "Commander, I believe we've underestimated not the depth of their oceans but the nature of human endurance physiology. Look at these readings. Her body is converting stored energy with remarkable efficiency, and her cooling system through perspiration continues to function even while submerged." On the third day, as Dr. Rodriguez approached the 250-kilometer mark, she encountered a storm system that would have sent most galactic species immediately seeking shelter. Instead, she adjusted her technique using the larger waves to her advantage while maintaining course toward her destination. "She's not just swimming," Dr. Vorth observed with scientific admiration. "She's adapted her strategy continuously over 72 hours, compensating for fatigue, environmental changes, and equipment limitations." This isn't just endurance, it's applied intelligence under extreme duress. Commander Zix-9 found himself leaning forward as Dr. Rodriguez finally reached the coordinates that marked her goal, a small research platform where her support team waited. She had covered nearly 300 kilometers in just over 3 days, swimming almost continuously through what the aliens had dismissed as a tiny ocean. As the human hauled herself onto the platform, exhausted but triumphant, the alien crew sat in stunned silence. "Sir," Trilk said quietly, "I'm receiving more data from their planetary networks. This was not unusual for their species. Humans regularly traverse these distances in their oceans. Some have even crossed entire ocean basins." Navigator Kresh made a sound that his species reserved for moments of profound revelation. "Commander, I request permission to revise our assessment of Earth's inhabitants." Zix-9 stared at the image of Dr. Rodriguez, who was now being celebrated by her colleagues on the platform. The aliens had mocked Earth's shallow oceans without understanding the profound truth. It wasn't the depth of the water that mattered, but the depth of the spirit willing to cross it. "Permission granted, Navigator." "And Trilix?" "Yes, Commander?" "Send a message to Galactic Command. Tell them we've encountered a species that doesn't conquer their oceans through technology or biological superiority. They conquer them through pure relentless determination." As their ship prepared to leave Earth's orbit, the aliens took with them a new understanding of what it meant to be truly adapted to one's environment. Sometimes the greatest ocean wasn't the deepest one. It was the one that taught its inhabitants that limits existed only to be transcended, one stroke at a time.